Namaste, and salutations to all those who are my ghouls and gremlins, to those of you who are watching this video. I wanted to welcome you with open arms to this brand new adventure of today's journey of life that consists of a new chapter that unfolds today. In a revolutionary brand new day, I wanted to present to you what I received from a dear friend of mine and a subscriber of mine for this here. My neighbor Totoro 7-inch, plush dolls, as adorable as they are. I absolutely love it, and why, thank you so very much for getting this for me. This is so awesome. I love this. And basically I wanted to do this video as a movie review and my perspective and my philosophy of this movie in particular. And for those of you who continue to watch our videos, I wanted to say I personally thank you so very much, and I cannot thank you enough because of it, and for supporting this inspiration project for this channel, as well as for all of your friendships, for your support and everything else that you may have done for us. Personally, we appreciate everything, and nothing is ever taken for granted from us. I just want to clarify that and to express myself in my state of mind and my perspective for that. And I deeply value everything that all of you guys ultimately do for us. So thank you, and we shall get this movie review started. Shall we start? Shall we begin?
Yeah, we should begin.
Alright. So, I've taken this time that I ordered for myself a movie for the My Neighbor Totoro. Now less than a couple days ago, I had received it in the mail, considering I had ordered it online. And I sat down to watch it for my very first time as of last night. And I must say, after finishing the movie, my thoughts were, that was surreal. That was intense. It was a simple concept for a storyline. However, it was more pure and innocent. It had a positive light to it. And it's not one of those modern day animation films or anime television series to where it's full of gore or some sort of a negative influence as that. I'm not one to particularly be a fan or a follower of such genres, like what they call gore factors, in regards to anime. I'm more of a person who is philosophical, as being a philosopher myself, a spiritualist. However, my spirituality does not have anything to deal with the deck of cards for who I personally am. It's more along the lines of my personal interest, and there is no conflict of interests that collide within one another. It's more of it's a matter of principles, a matter of preference. And honest to God, I love more of simple things, more things that share a light of the positive influences through such venues, such channels in which you would synchronize into your collectives of your thoughts. And for things that you might receive a influence for a positive through, and I enjoyed it, considering of how this animation film in particular for this My Neighbor Totoro had depicted a lot less of the usage, or at least I should say a constant usage of technology, and it depicted a portrayal of a simple lifestyle, a simple storyline, and it was something innocent, it was something pure and adorable. At least that's what I had received from watching a movie. And in certain parts of the movie, it was emotional. So you could definitely feel what the director had incorporated into the work and the craftsmanship of this particular film was a part of his spirit. And being a follower of Hayao Miyazaki and being Japanese myself, and I think that's a stereotype of how like Oriental people naturally love anime. So don't follow into that misguidance of misconceptions. And ultimately, each one of us as human beings, we are indifferent. And we have our own unique characteristics and personalities. One thing in particular is that I still have yet to see Spirited Away. I've never seen that one yet. And some of his other works. I am someone rather new to watching his films. And I've not heard of it until as of late. So, and there's literally so much anime that is an endless archives in the world. There are over hundreds, if not thousands, of different animation films and anime in the entire world. And it comes in forms of one form of cartoons or another. And in addition, I also appreciated My Neighbor Totoro for its innocence, its lack of technology. Well, there was some technology in there that could be found, but it was more simple. It was more. This film in particular was focused more on the countryside of Japan. And obviously, of course, my first impression was of Totoro being a forest spirit, I thought perhaps he was going to be something maybe evil, perhaps, as the majority of anime would likely to depict. However, this was not the case. It was something entirely different. And, well, of course, if you see this one, in your first impression, you might think that, wow, he's creepy or he's evil or something, or dark and venomous, but he's not. He's actually a lovable creature that ultimately was himself innocent as well. And he had some other, like, mini chibi Totoros that was following him. There was, like, two other ones. One was a mini, and the other one was a really smaller version of it. It was like a white one. And my perspective is, I believe more animation films should depict a more positive influence, a more positive light, and a portrayal of innocence. And I hope to see more work and videos by him, by that particular director, for Miyazaki. And one other anime I watched, I believe it was directed by him as well, but it was Princess Mononoke. And I have the movie inside. I watched it, and it was pretty decent. I mean, it was like full of like creatures and monsters and, you know, violence and gore. However, it portrayed like a different perspective to it, where it had the hero to declare a triumphant victory, which you ultimately find in every perspective for movies. But this one was different. This was actually more of a different feel for it. But anyway, speaking of My Neighbor Totoro, and there's not much to say about it otherwise, you know, other than, you know, there's not much to say of My Neighbor Totoro, this film in particular, besides that it was simple, it was pure, it had a portrayal of innocence, and as well as a positive light to it, and especially of a light of Japan, of Japanese culture. And having grown up within Japanese culture myself, it's more or less a weird country. Then again, it has a lot of positive benefits to it. It has a lot of influential of the positives that could be found within it, as within every culture has its positive influences and the light within every culture. So, if you have not yet seen this movie, I highly recommend it. And actually, what I'm going to show you guys is I've got the My Neighbor Totoro, the blanket, this two dolls here, and the little doll that is attached to my video camera here. And it's really innocent. It's really cool. Like, I don't want to spoil. I wish I could spoil the movie for you guys, but I cannot. For those of you who had not watched the movie yet, so I won't spoil anything. But this movie it had taken me by surprise. I had expected it to be something more elaborate, or something more in-depth, or at least more complex for a storyline. No, it's just as my fiance Jen had told me, that it was something a lot simple than what I might have expected. And I could honest to God say that My Neighbor Totoro is officially now my favorite animation film. And I cannot say that for a lot of anime, considering that I do not know much anime, and Jen herself is allowing me to, trying to get me to become more adapted to different anime. And a lot of the traditional anime I watched before was things like Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Hellsing, Trinity Blood, Naruto, Yu Yu Hakusho, Inuyasha, simple things like that. But as I've said, they have an endless archives of amount of many different collectives of anime in the world. Dragon Ball Z is one of them I've grown up with, and Dragon Ball GT, and this is so much. Well, thank you everyone for taking this opportunity to watching this video in particular. I hope that you enjoyed this movie review, and I hope that you subscribe to this channel, The Synthetic Aperture. This is my shirt here for those of you who are wondering, and there you go. Oh, as you can see it here. Oh, well, see you guys next time, and definitely watch this movie. I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. It's one of the greatest movies possible for animation films. And there you go. My neighbor Totoro.